Have you ever found yourself wondering how someone who once meant so much to you could walk away so easily? It's a painful reality many of us face at some point, leaving us to question our own worth and how they could fail to see what they had. But let me tell you something. You hold the power to make them regret losing you, not through spite, but by transforming your life in ways they could never imagine. This isn't about revenge or playing games. It's about embracing your full potential and showing, not telling the world and them what they missed out on. Too often, people hold on to the misconception that others define their value. But here's the truth. You define your value, and by doing so, you shift the narrative. Think about it. Have you been shrinking yourself, trying to fit into someone else's expectations, only to be left behind? What if, instead of shrinking, you chose to expand? What if, instead of dwelling on what they took away, you focused on what you could build? In this video, we're diving deep into 10 powerful rules that will change how you see yourself and, more importantly, how they see you. Each rule is a step toward transformation, one that not only helps you heal but also makes them realize the magnitude of their mistake. Stick with me, and by the end of this, you won't just understand these rules, you'll live them. You'll become someone they can't ignore, someone they'll regret losing every time they think of you. Now, let's start with the first rule. 1. Elevate your self-worth. The foundation of making anyone regret losing you begins with understanding your own value. How often have you questioned your worth because of someone else's inability to see it? How many times have you settled for less, hoping they'd eventually recognize your value? Let's challenge that mindset right now. True self-worth doesn't come from external validation. It's not about how others perceive you, it's about how you perceive yourself. So the first step is simple. Stop waiting for someone else to affirm your value. Start affirming it yourself. Imagine this. If you truly believed in your own worth, how differently would you live? Would you tolerate the same behaviors, the same disrespect, the same indifference? Of course not. People only treat you the way you allow them to. And when you raise your standards, they have no choice but to rise to meet them or leave. And if they leave, that's not your loss. It's theirs. Now, this isn't just a mental exercise. It's about action. What are you doing today to show yourself that you matter? It could be as simple as setting aside time for self-care or as profound as walking away from toxic relationships. Every small step you take toward prioritizing your well-being is a statement. I am worth it. But let's take this further. Reflect on how you speak to yourself. Are your thoughts empowering, or do they echo the criticisms you've internalized from others? Your inner dialogue shapes your reality, and if it's filled with self-doubt and negativity, it's time to rewrite the script. Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I am more than enough." Replace "I can't" with "I will." And here's the magic of elevating your self-worth. It's magnetic. When you truly believe in your value, others will too. They'll notice the way you carry yourself, the way you no longer seek their approval, and it will make them question why they ever let you go. So let me ask you this. What's one thing you can do today to affirm your value? What's one way you can treat yourself with the respect you deserve? Start there. Because when you elevate your self-worth, you don't just change how you see yourself, you change how the world sees you. This is only the beginning. The journey to becoming someone they regret losing starts with understanding your worth. And as we move to the next rule, you'll see how building on this foundation transforms not just how you feel, but how you live. Let's keep going. 2. Focus on personal growth. Growth is your secret weapon. Have you ever noticed how people often regret losing someone when they see that person thriving without them? Personal growth doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you magnetic. And here's the catch. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you. But let's get real for a second. How often have you put your own development on hold for someone else? Maybe you sacrificed your dreams to support theirs. Maybe you let your goals fade into the background while they took center stage. It's easy to do, isn't it? Love makes us compromise, but it should never make us abandon ourselves. Now is the time to reclaim your focus. What's something you've always wanted to achieve but never pursued? Maybe it's learning a new skill, building a career you're proud of, or mastering a creative passion. Whatever it is, this is your moment. Imagine them scrolling through social media one day, only to see you thriving in ways they never expected. They'll feel the weight of what they lost. Let's break this down into actionable steps, because talking about growth isn't enough, you need to live it. Start with self-reflection. What areas of your life feel stagnant? Are you stuck in a job that drains you? Are your hobbies collecting dust? Do you feel like you're just going through the motions? It's time to shake things up. Set goals that excite and challenge you. And don't just think about the destination, embrace the process. Growth isn't linear, and it's not always glamorous, but it's always worth it. Take that course, hit the gym, write that book, start that business. Every step you take toward bettering yourself is a step away from the version of you that they left behind. But growth isn't just about external achievements, it's also about who you are on the inside. When you invest in your emotional and intellectual growth, you become someone who is not only confident but also captivating. Read books that expand your mind. Surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. Seek experiences that push you out of your comfort zone. Here's a question for you. When was the last time you did something just for yourself? When did you last prioritize your own happiness and fulfillment? If it's been a while, now's the time to start. The beauty of personal growth is that it's entirely in your hands. You don't need their permission or approval. You just need the courage to start. And let's talk about the ripple effect. When you focus on your own growth, you inspire others. They'll see your transformation and wonder how you did it. That includes the person who walked away. They'll notice the changes, your confidence, your accomplishments, your energy, and it will force them to confront their decision. They'll question why they didn't stick around to witness this version of you. But here's the key. Don't let their potential regret be your motivation. Let your own happiness drive you. You're not growing to prove a point, you're growing to live the fullest, richest life possible. The regret they feel is just a byproduct of your radiance. Now, I want you to think about this. What's one area of your life where you've been holding back? Write it down. Commit to taking one step forward today. Remember, growth is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate every milestone, no matter how small, and keep moving forward. If this resonates with you, take a second to show some love to this video. Like it and comment number 1 below if you're ready to focus on your growth. I want to hear about your first steps. What goal are you working on? Let's build a community that thrives together. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. This is just the beginning of your transformation, and there's so much more to come. You deserve to be surrounded by content that lifts you up, motivates you, and reminds you of your potential. Subscribe now so we can keep growing together. Your personal growth is your power. It's the proof that you don't just survive, you thrive. And as you step into this next chapter, they'll see exactly what they lost. But more importantly, you'll see everything you've gained. Let's keep this momentum going as we dive into the next rule. Are you ready? Stay with me. This is where the magic happens. 3. Create a life they envy. There's something undeniably powerful about living a life so fulfilling that it speaks louder than any words ever could. Picture this. You're thriving in ways they never anticipated, living with joy and purpose. The life you create becomes a testament to your resilience and a reminder of what they let slip away. So how do you create a life they envy? Start by letting go of the idea that your happiness depends on anyone but yourself. Too often we fall into the trap of making someone else the center of our universe. When they leave, it feels like the world collapses. But here's the truth. Your world doesn't revolve around them. It revolves around you. Begin by identifying what truly makes you happy. Not what used to make you happy when you were with them, but what sparks joy for you now. Is it pursuing a passion you've put on the back burner? Exploring new hobbies? Traveling to places you've always dreamed of? Focus on filling your life with activities and experiences that make you feel alive. Here's a question to consider. When was the last time you did something that genuinely excited you? Something that made you lose track of time because you were so immersed in the moment. If it's been a while, this is your wake-up call. Building a life they envy isn't about superficial displays of success. It's about creating depth and meaning. It's about filling your days with purpose, surrounding yourself with people who uplift you. and cultivating an inner peace they can't ignore. Think about your environment. Are you surrounding yourself with things and people that inspire you? If not, it's time to make some changes. Reconnect with friends who bring out the best in you. Build a community that supports your growth. Your circle is a reflection of your energy, and when you surround yourself with positivity, it shows. Hey, don't be afraid to share your joy with the world. This isn't about bragging or rubbing it in anyone's face. It's about celebrating your wins, no matter how big or small. Post that photo of you hiking the mountain you never thought you'd climb. Share that accomplishment you worked hard for. Let your happiness shine unapologetically. And here's the kicker. Creating a life they envy doesn't mean you're pretending everything is perfect. It means you're showing up authentically, even in the face of challenges. Resilience is enviable. Your ability to navigate hardship with grace and strength will leave them in awe. Think back to the version of yourself that existed when they were in your life. How much of that version was shaped by their influence? Now imagine the person you're becoming, free from their expectations. That transformation alone is enough to make them reflect on what they've lost. There's a saying, success is the best revenge. But let's take it one step further. Happiness is the best revenge, because when you're truly happy, you're untouchable. They'll see you smiling, laughing, thriving, and they'll realize that their absence didn't break you. In fact, it made you stronger. So ask yourself, what does your dream life look like? What steps can you take today to move closer to it? Maybe it's starting a new career, pursuing a creative project, or finally booking that trip you've been putting off. Whatever it is, take that first step. When you create a life they envy, you're not just proving something to them, you're proving something to yourself. You're showing that your happiness is your responsibility, and no one has the power to take it away. This is the turning point. The life you build is the ultimate reminder that you don't just survive, you thrive. And as you continue to embrace this transformation, you'll see that the best revenge isn't about making them regret losing you. It's about creating a life so rich and fulfilling that you don't even think about them anymore. Ready for the next step? Let's keep this momentum going. Stay with me, we're just getting started. 4. Set boundaries and stick to them. Let's get honest for a second. How often have you bent your own rules to keep someone in your life? How many times have you let your boundaries slide because you didn't want to upset them or risk losing them? If this sounds familiar, it's time to reclaim your power. Setting boundaries isn't just about protecting yourself, it's about teaching others how to respect you. Boundaries define who you are and what you will or won't tolerate. They're not walls meant to shut people out, but guideposts that help you maintain your self-respect and emotional well-being. And here's the truth. When you set boundaries and enforce them, you show people, including the one who left, that you value yourself. Think back to your past relationships. Were there moments when you ignored red flags or allowed behavior that made you uncomfortable? Maybe you stayed silent to keep the peace or sacrificed your needs to accommodate theirs. It's easy to fall into these patterns, but it's time to break free. Start by identifying your non-negotiables. What are the behaviors or situations that you're no longer willing to accept? Maybe it's disrespect, inconsistency, or emotional manipulation. Whatever they are, write them down. Get clear on your limits so that when someone crosses them, you know it's time to take action. Enforcing boundaries isn't always easy. It requires courage, especially when you care deeply about someone. But remember this, setting a boundary doesn't mean you're being mean or selfish. It means you're choosing self-respect over discomfort. And when you do that, you send a clear message to others about how they should treat you. Imagine how they'll feel when they see this new, empowered version of you. The person who once overlooked disrespect is now standing tall, unshakable in their values. They'll realize that they no longer have the power to cross your lines, and that shift can be both shocking and humbling. But boundaries aren't just about saying no to others. They're about saying yes to yourself, yes to your peace of mind, yes to relationships that uplift and respect you, yes to living a life that aligns with your values. Every time you honor your boundaries, you reinforce your worth, not just to others, but to yourself. Here's a question for you. What's one boundary you've been afraid to set? Maybe it's telling someone no, asking for space, or walking away from a toxic situation. Take a moment to reflect on it and challenge yourself to take the first step toward enforcing it. And remember, setting boundaries isn't just about relationships, it applies to every area of your life. Work, family, friendships, every connection you have should respect your limits. If they don't, it's a clear sign that something needs to change. When you set boundaries, you create space for healthier, more meaningful relationships. The people who truly value you will respect your limits, and those who don't, well, they weren't meant to stay. And trust me, their absence will feel like freedom, not loss. If this idea resonates with you, let's make it a conversation. Like this video and comment number 1 if you're ready to set boundaries and take control of your life. Share your thoughts. What's one boundary you've set or plan to set? And don't forget to subscribe. If you're finding value in these steps and want more insights to help you grow and thrive, hit that subscribe button now. Together, we'll keep building the life you deserve. Boundaries are your superpower. They protect your energy, preserve your peace, and remind the world that you know your worth. And as you enforce them, they'll see a version of you they never expected, strong, confident, and untouchable. Let's keep going. The transformation continues with the next step. 5. Cultivate emotional independence. Emotional independence is the cornerstone of true freedom. It's the ability to stand tall on your own, to find strength within yourself, and to no longer rely on someone else for your happiness or validation. Imagine this for a moment. What if your emotions weren't tied to anyone else's actions? What if you could remain steady and whole, no matter who came or went from your life? That's the power of emotional independence, and it's a gift you can give yourself. The truth is, many of us unknowingly hand over the keys to our emotional well-being to others. We feel validated when they praise us and devastated when they criticize or leave. It's a roller coaster of highs and lows, and it leaves us at the mercy of their actions. But here's the good news. You can get off that ride. You can take back control. Start by understanding that your emotions are yours to manage. No one else can make you feel a certain way without your permission. Yes, their words and actions might trigger feelings, but how you respond is entirely up to you. This shift in perspective is empowering because it places the responsibility for your happiness squarely in your hands. Think about your past relationships. Were there moments when your mood depended entirely on how they treated you? If they were kind, you felt good. If they were distant, you felt unworthy. This pattern isn't uncommon, but it's unsustainable. Emotional independence breaks that cycle by teaching you to find fulfillment within yourself, not through others. How do you cultivate this independence? Begin by spending time alone. Solitude is not loneliness, it's an opportunity to connect with yourself. Learn to enjoy your own company, to sit with your thoughts, and to understand what truly makes you happy. When you become comfortable with being alone, you realize you don't need anyone else to complete you. Next, focus on your passions. What activities make you lose track of time? What goals ignite your excitement? Pour your energy into these pursuits. When you're deeply engaged in something you love, you're less likely to seek validation from others because you're already fulfilled. Another powerful step is to develop a strong sense of self. Who are you outside of your relationships? What values guide your decisions? When you have a clear sense of identity, you become less susceptible to the influence of others. You're no longer defined by their opinions or actions because you know who you are and what you stand for. Emotional independence also requires setting healthy boundaries with your emotions. While it's important to feel your feelings, it's equally important not to let them control you. Practice mindfulness to observe your emotions without judgment. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a step back and ask yourself, what's really going on here? What can I do to respond in a way that aligns with my values? Let's address an important point. Emotional independence doesn't mean shutting people out or refusing to care. It's not about building walls, it's about building resilience. You can still love deeply and connect meaningfully, but your happiness won't hinge on their presence. This balance allows you to maintain healthy, fulfilling relationships without losing yourself in the process. Now, consider how this transformation will appear to someone who left you. They were likely used to seeing you rely on them for emotional support or validation. When they see you standing strong, thriving without their reassurance, it will be a stark contrast to the version of you they knew. It forces them to confront a difficult truth. They no longer have power over your emotions. And here's the beauty of emotional independence. It doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you irresistible. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and self-sufficiency. They'll notice the calm in your demeanor, the clarity in your actions, and the peace you've cultivated. Ask yourself this: how often have you placed your emotional well-being in someone else's hands? What would it feel like to take that power back? Reflect on these questions and take the first steps toward emotional independence today. Remember, this journey isn't about proving anything to anyone else. It's about reclaiming your sense of self and finding joy in your own company. Emotional independence is freedom. It's the freedom to live authentically, to love deeply without fear, and to move forward without hesitation. And as you walk this path, they'll see a version of you they never imagined. Not because you're trying to make them see, but because you're becoming the person you were always meant to be. Let's continue this journey in the next step. There's more transformation ahead, and you're ready for it. 6. Master the art of silence. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. Silence is not weakness, it's strength. It's the decision to stop chasing, stop explaining, and stop trying to prove your worth to someone who didn't value you in the first place. It's about reclaiming your dignity and letting your absence speak louder than any words ever could. Think about this. How often have you tried to convince someone of your worth after they've walked away? How many times have you sent that one extra text, hoping for closure or clarity, only to feel worse afterward? It's a common reaction, but it rarely brings the results you hope for. The truth is, the more you chase someone, the less they value your presence. Silence changes the game. When you step back and remove yourself from their orbit, you create a void they can't ignore. They may not notice it right away, but over time they will feel the absence of your energy, your presence, and your support. Silence forces them to sit with their own choices. It gives them the space to realize what they lost, and that realization can be far more impactful than any words you could say. But mastering the art of silence isn't just about them. It's about you. It's about giving yourself the time and space to heal. Silence allows you to step out of the emotional chaos and reconnect with yourself. It's a pause that helps you regain clarity and focus. Here's the challenge, though. Silence is hard. It's tempting to break it, especially when you feel hurt or angry. You want to reach out, to express your feelings, to make them understand. But ask yourself this: what do you truly gain from breaking the silence? Will it change their actions, or will it simply give them more power over your emotions? Instead of reaching out, channel that energy inward. Use the silence to reflect, grow, and thrive. Focus on your goals, your passions, and your well-being. Fill your days with activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Every moment you spend nurturing yourself is a moment you reclaim from the pain of their absence. And here's where it gets powerful. When they do notice your silence, they'll start to wonder, why haven't you reached out? Why aren't you trying to win them back? That curiosity will linger, and it will force them to confront the reality of their decision. Silence, when used wisely, is a tool for self-respect, and it's undeniably compelling. Now, imagine this. They see you, not begging for their attention, but thriving in your own space. They'll realize that you're not the person they left behind. You've evolved, and your silence speaks volumes about your strength and independence. So how do you master the art of silence? Start by setting a boundary with yourself. Commit to not reaching out, no matter how tempting it may feel. Remind yourself that silence is not about punishment or manipulation. It's about prioritizing your peace and protecting your energy. Replace the urge to reach out with actions that benefit you. Go for a walk, journal your thoughts, pick up a new hobby, or spend time with people who uplift you. These moments of self-care reinforce your decision to focus on your own growth instead of dwelling what's gone. And if the silence feels heavy, remember this: it's not emptiness. It's space for something new. It's an opportunity to rediscover yourself and rebuild your life on your terms. If you're ready to embrace the power of silence, take a moment to let us know. Like this video and comment number 1 if you're committed to focusing on your own peace and growth. Your journey matters, and I want to hear about the steps you're taking to master this art. And don't forget to subscribe. If you found value in these insights and want more guidance to help you grow, thrive, and transform, hit that subscribe button now. Together, we'll keep building a stronger, more resilient version of you. Silence is not just the absence of noise, it's the presence of strength. It's the moment you choose yourself over the chaos, and in doing so, you create a life that speaks for itself. Let's move forward to the next rule, where we'll continue building the unstoppable, unshakable version of you. 7. Invest in your physical and mental health. When someone walks away from you, it's easy to let self-care fall by the wayside. You might feel unmotivated, emotionally drained, or stuck in a cycle of overthinking. But let me tell you something. Your physical and mental health are the foundation of your transformation. When you invest in both, you not only heal but also become a version of yourself they won't recognize, a stronger, healthier, and more confident you. Let's start with the physical. Taking care of your body isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling good. Regular exercise releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that combat stress and boost your mood. Whether it's going for a run, joining a gym, practicing yoga, or dancing in your living room, moving your body has a profound impact on your overall well-being. Nutrition plays a key role as well. When you fuel your body with healthy, nourishing foods, you're not just improving your physical health, you're also signaling to yourself that you're worth the effort. Think of every meal as a vote for your future self. Are you voting for energy, vitality, and resilience, or for exhaustion and burnout? But let's not stop there. Your mental health is just as important, if not more so, than your physical health. After a breakup or emotional setback, your mind can become a battlefield filled with doubts, regrets, and what-ifs. This is the time to take control of your mental space. Start with mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness doesn't mean you have to meditate for hours a day. Though meditation is powerful, if you're open to it, it can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths, focusing on the present moment, and grounding yourself when your thoughts spiral. Journaling is another incredible tool. Writing down your feelings, no matter how messy or complex, helps you process them. It's like clearing out mental clutter, making space for clarity and focus. Plus, journaling allows you to track your growth over time, a tangible reminder of how far you've come. Don't underestimate the power of rest either. In a world that glorifies busyness, taking time to recharge is an act of self-care. Sleep is your body's natural healer, and quality rest is essential for both physical recovery and mental clarity. And let's talk about therapy or counseling. Seeking professional help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. A therapist can help you navigate the complexities of your emotions, identify patterns that no longer serve you, and guide you toward healthier ways of thinking and living. Now, think about the message this sends to the person who left you. They may have known one version of you, the one who struggled, doubted, or leaned on them for support. But now, they'll see someone different. Someone who prioritizes their health, exudes vitality, and has an unshakable sense of self-worth. That contrast alone can be enough to make them regret their decision. But remember, this isn't about them. It's about you. When you take care of your physical and mental health, you're doing it for your own benefit. You're building a life where you feel good in your own skin, where you wake up energized and ready to face the day, where you have the resilience to handle life's challenges with grace. Ask yourself, what's one thing you can do today to invest in your well-being? Maybe it's drinking more water, going for a walk, or setting boundaries around your time and energy. Small actions add up, and every step you take is a step toward a healthier, happier you. And here's the beauty of it. When you prioritize your health, everything else in your life improves. You have more energy for your passions, more clarity in your decisions, and more confidence in who you are. It's a ripple effect that touches every part of your life. So let this be your turning point. Commit to treating your body and mind as sacred because they are. The stronger and healthier you become, the more unshakable your foundation. And that's a version of you they'll never forget, no matter how much time passes. Let's keep moving forward. The next step is just as transformative, and you're ready for it. Stay with me, your journey continues here. 8. Surround yourself with positive energy. One of the most powerful ways to transform your life and make them regret using you is by surrounding yourself with positivity. The energy around you shapes your mindset, your emotions, and even your opportunities. When you cultivate an environment filled with uplifting people, inspiring experiences, and empowering thoughts, you set the stage for unstoppable growth. Let's be honest. After a breakup or a setback, it's tempting to isolate yourself or stay connected to people who don't truly support you. Maybe you've held onto relationships out of habit, even when those connections drained you. Or maybe you found yourself in a cycle of negativity, replaying old memories and questioning what went wrong. It's time to break free. The first step to surrounding yourself with positive energy is to evaluate your current environment. Ask yourself, who are the people in your life right now? Do they uplift you or do they bring you down? Are they genuinely supportive, or do they subtly undermine your confidence? It's not always easy to face these questions, but being honest with yourself is the only way to move forward. Now, let's take action. If there are toxic relationships in your life, it's time to set boundaries or let them go entirely. This doesn't mean you have to cut everyone out abruptly, but it does mean prioritizing your well-being. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who celebrate your wins, and who remind you of your worth. But positivity isn't just about the people around you. It's also about the energy you bring into your own life. Think about the activities, habits, and thoughts that fill your days. Are they aligned with the version of yourself you want to become? If not, it's time to make changes. Engage in activities that energize you and bring you joy. Whether it's pursuing a creative passion, spending time in nature, or volunteering for a cause you care about, these experiences infuse your life with purpose and positivity. The more you fill your days with things that uplift you, the less room there is for negativity. Let's not forget the power of gratitude. Focusing on what you have, rather than what you've lost, is a game changer. Take a moment every day to reflect on the things you're grateful for, big or small. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, making you more open to the good things life has to offer. Here's the beauty of surrounding yourself with positive energy. It's contagious. When you exude confidence, joy, and purpose, others are naturally drawn to you. That includes the person who left. They'll see the vibrant life you're creating, the people who value you, and the energy you radiate. And they'll realize they're no longer a part of it. Imagine how they'll feel when they see you laughing with friends, pursuing your passions, and thriving in ways they never anticipated. The contrast between the version of you they knew and the version you've become will be impossible to ignore. But remember, this transformation isn't for them, it's for you. You're creating a life filled with positivity because it's what you deserve, not because it might make them regret their decision. Their regret is simply a side effect of your radiance. Let me ask you this. What's one small change you can make today to bring more positivity into your life? Maybe it's reaching out to an old friend who inspires you or saying no to plans that don't align with your energy. Small changes lead to big shifts, and each step you take brings you closer to the life you want. If this resonates with you, take a moment to let us know. Like this video and comment number 1 below if you're ready to surround yourself with positive energy and create a life that inspires. Your journey matters, and your story has the power to inspire others too. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Let's keep building this community of growth, resilience, and positivity together. You're not just watching a video, you're taking steps to transform your life. Subscribe now so you don't miss what's next. Your environment shapes your future. By choosing positivity, you're setting yourself up for success, happiness, and peace. Let's keep this momentum going as we dive into the next rule. Stay with me, the best is yet to come. 9. Achieve something they didn't believe you could. There's a unique kind of power in proving someone wrong, not out of spite, but through quiet, unwavering determination. When you achieve something they never believed you could, it's not just a victory over their doubts, it's a victory over the version of yourself that once believed them. Think about this. Were there moments in your past when they doubted your abilities? Maybe they questioned your ambition, underestimated your potential, or dismissed your dreams. Their lack of belief might have left a lingering doubt in your mind, a small voice whispering, maybe they were right. But here's the truth, they weren't. Achieving something extraordinary starts with believing in yourself, even when others don't. It's about setting a goal that aligns with your deepest passions and refusing to let anyone's skepticism stand in your way. The journey won't be easy, but every step forward is a testament to your resilience. Start by identifying a goal that feels both meaningful and challenging. Maybe it's landing a dream job, starting your own business, mastering a new skill, or completing a long-term project. The goal doesn't have to impress anyone else. It just has to matter to you. When you're deeply connected to what you're working toward, their doubts lose their power over you. Now break that goal into actionable steps. Big dreams are achieved through consistent small actions. Focus on what you can do today, this week, and this month to move closer to your goal. Progress might be slow at first, but every milestone you reach builds momentum and confidence. As you work toward your goal, you'll encounter challenges. Obstacles will arise, and there will be moments when giving up feels easier than pushing through. But this is where you find your strength. Remember why you started. Visualize the version of yourself who has already succeeded, and let that vision drive you forward. Here's where the shift happens. As you achieve your goals, you're not just proving them wrong, you're proving yourself right. You're reminding yourself of your capabilities, your determination, and your ability to rise above doubt. The person they underestimated is gone, replaced by someone who knows their worth and acts on it. Imagine how it will feel to reach your goal, to stand in your success and look back on everything you overcame to get there. Picture the surprise, even awe, they'll feel when they realize you didn't just survive without them, you thrived. And while their regret may be a satisfying side note, your focus will be on the life you've built, not on their reaction. But achieving something they didn't believe you could isn't just about the end result. It's about who you become in the process. The discipline, resilience, and confidence you develop along the way are just as important as the accomplishment itself. Think back to the version of yourself they knew. That version might have been hesitant, unsure, or limited by their expectations. Now, imagine the version of yourself who has achieved what once seemed impossible. That's the version you're creating, step by step, with every action you take. It's important to remember that your success doesn't need to be loud or flashy. You don't have to shout your achievements from the rooftops or seek their attention. Let your actions and results speak for themselves. The quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth is far more impactful than any boastful declaration. So ask yourself, what's one thing you've always wanted to accomplish but held back from pursuing? What's one step you can take today to begin? This isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you can rise to any challenge, no matter who doubts you. As you move forward, focus on your growth and transformation. Their regret may come, but it's not your responsibility to wait for it or dwell on it. Your responsibility is to yourself to create a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling, regardless of their opinions. Achieving something they didn't believe you could is a powerful reminder that their doubts don't define you. Your actions, determination, and success are yours to claim. And with every step forward, you're showing the world and yourself what you're truly capable of. Let's move to the final rule, where we'll bring everything together and end this journey on the most empowering note yet. Stay with me. You've come this far, and the best is still ahead. 10. Stay graceful, not spiteful. The final and most powerful rule is this: choose grace over spite. It's tempting to lash out when someone leaves you or doubts your worth. You might feel an urge to prove them wrong with loud declarations or bitter words. But the truth is, Revenge fueled by anger only diminishes your light. Real strength lies in rising above and moving forward with dignity and grace. Grace doesn't mean ignoring your pain or pretending you're unaffected. It means choosing to heal in a way that honors your growth and integrity. It means letting go of bitterness, not for their sake, but for yours. Carrying anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It only harms you. Imagine this. The person who doubted you or walked away expects you to crumble, to lash out, to fall apart. But instead, you rise. You don't engage in petty arguments or passive-aggressive tactics. You don't seek validation through their regret. You simply move forward, radiating a calm confidence that speaks volumes. Choosing grace allows you to channel your energy into what truly matters: your growth, happiness, and success. It frees you from the emotional weight of their actions and creates space for new opportunities. Think of it as clearing a cluttered room. Once you let go of the mess, you make room for peace and abundance. So how do you stay graceful in the face of pain? Start by reframing your perspective. Instead of seeing their departure as a loss, view it as a lesson. What did this experience teach you about yourself, your boundaries, or your desires? Every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and when you approach life with this mindset, even the most painful moments can become stepping stones. Practice forgiveness, not for their benefit, but for yours. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing their behavior or inviting them back into your life. It means releasing the grip of anger and resentment so you can move forward without emotional baggage. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a way to reclaim your peace. As you embrace grace, remember that your actions define you, not theirs. Focus on living a life that reflects your values and priorities. Engage in activities that bring you joy, nurture your relationships with supportive people, and pursue goals that align with your passions. This isn't about putting on a show for anyone else. It's about creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling to you. Here's the beauty of staying graceful. It's magnetic. When you rise above the noise and carry yourself with dignity, people notice. The person who left may feel regret, not because of anything you said or did to hurt them, but because they see your strength and self-respect. They'll realize they can no longer affect you the way they once did, and that realization is more powerful than any revenge. Imagine them scrolling through social media, seeing you smiling, thriving, and living a life filled with purpose. Imagine them hearing about your accomplishments from mutual friends. Your grace, combined with your success, will leave an indelible mark. But here's the most important part. Their regret is not your goal. Your goal is to find peace, happiness, and fulfillment within yourself. Their feelings are a byproduct of your transformation, not the reason for it. When you focus on your own journey, you reclaim your power. Now take a moment to reflect. How can you bring more grace into your life today? Maybe it's choosing to respond to a difficult situation with kindness. Maybe it's letting go of a lingering resentment or reframing a painful memory. Every act of grace brings you closer to the person you want to become. If this message resonates with you, let's keep the conversation going. Like this video and comment number 1 below if you're ready to embrace grace and let go of bitterness. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you're incorporating this principle into your life. And don't forget to subscribe. This journey is about continuous growth and transformation, and there's so much more ahead. Hit that subscribe button now so you can stay inspired, motivated, and connected to this community of resilience and strength. Grace is your ultimate power. It's the quiet strength that allows you to rise above, to heal, and to shine. By choosing grace, you show the world and yourself that your happiness isn't dependent on anyone else. You're free, and that freedom is the greatest success of all. Let's close this chapter with the strength and dignity you've cultivated throughout this journey. Thank you for being here, for investing in yourself, and for embracing the life you deserve. The next step is yours to take. Are you ready? Stay strong, stay graceful, and keep thriving. You've made it to the end of this journey, and now it's time to reflect on everything we've explored. These 10 rules aren't just steps to make someone regret losing you. They're a blueprint for reclaiming your power, rediscovering your worth, and building a life you're proud of. Think about it. 8. By elevating your self-worth, focusing on growth, creating a life they envy, setting boundaries, cultivating emotional independence, mastering silence, investing in your health, surrounding yourself with positivity, achieving what seemed impossible, and staying graceful. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. But here's the most important part. This transformation isn't about them. It's about you. It's about choosing to prioritize your happiness, your goals, and your peace. It's about becoming someone who no longer needs validation from anyone else because you know your value. The person who left may feel regret, but by the time they do, you'll be too focused on your own journey to even notice. And that's the ultimate power. You're not living for their approval or their attention. You're living for yourself. So now the question is, what will you do next? What's the first step you'll take to apply these rules to your life? Will you focus on personal growth, set a boundary you've been avoiding, or invest in your health? Whatever it is, take that step today. Don't wait for the right moment, because the right moment is now. If this video has inspired you, take a moment to let us know. Like it, comment number 1 below to share your commitment, and subscribe to this channel for more content that empowers and uplifts you. Together, we're building a community of strength, resilience, and transformation. Thank you for being here, for investing in yourself, and for taking this journey with me. Remember, your worth is not defined by who stays or who goes, it's defined by you. Keep moving forward, keep growing, and keep building the life you deserve. Stay strong, stay focused, and above all, stay true to yourself. The best is yet to come. See you in the next video.